Hi, and welcome to FrazlCast. Climb aboard the Gnome Train.
Woo! Chugga, 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 woo!
Please make sure to keep your limbs and experimental instruments inside the train at all times. And now, on with the show.
A podcast by a Blizzard fan gnome about World of Warcraft and geeky stuff. I promise you, they do talk about the World of Warcraft. They just go off the rails sometimes.
So I'm Frazley, and I am joined by Razuris, my fellow gnome and lover of Frosties. Sadly, we have none tonight. I know, it's been a while. But the only good thing is at least we will not attract Ravenclaw.
Oh, God, thank goodness. Oof. We wouldn't have enough Frosties for them.
Yes, because they sure love Frosties. So on this episode, we're going to get to know you, Raz. So to the audience, grab some popcorn. What type of seasoning would you recommend for the popcorn?
Oh, my goodness. Well, when I used to put the flavored seasoning on, well, the go-to was always white cheddar. Sometimes nacho cheddar. But then somebody turned me on to ranch, which is actually a pretty tasty topping. And then there was, what was the other one? Oh, sour cream and onion. That was pretty good too. Of course, you would want to make sure that you were going straight home and you weren't talking to anybody at all for the rest of the night.
So probably not a good thing for dates.
Exactly.
So just like the sour cream and onions. Oh, wait. There's all the layers to that.
Lots. I got that.
Then let's get started. How did you get into gaming?
Okay, so this was many, many moons ago. My father purchased an Atari 2600 for us, and that was my first experience. We had an Atari 2600, then a Commodore 64. My parents got divorced, and my future stepfather was trying to get on our good side. So in that particular year, we got a Nintendo Entertainment System. Woohoo! Played a lot of Super Mario Brothers. And then it just kind of kept on going from that point on. Every time there was a new system, someone in the family would buy something to try it out. And some of the games I could get into. And then as things advanced and things became more 3D and weird, I get motion sickness pretty easily. So if it's like a driving game or a first-person shooter, not so much for me. Most of the other stuff, I kind of enjoy certain types of games, yeah.
So World of Warcraft works for you because of its camera angles?
Yes, that doesn't bother me as much. I can see the character on the screen. I don't have to. I mean, I suppose I could go into first person if I wanted to, but that would be crazy for me.
Yeah, and it's not like Skyrim. It wouldn't have like the same effect and stuff like that. And plus,
right.
You can't kill your horse and WoW like you can in Skyrim.
Thank goodness, because I would probably kill my mounts right and left.
Me too, Sugarfoot. So, speaking of World of Warcraft, so from that Atari 2600, it's a pretty long jump to Blizzard games.
Are you calling me old?
No. Were you alive when Pong was invented?
I don't know if I was alive when Pong was invented.
Okay.
But my dad had a Pong game.
Okay. So maybe not as old as Michael Game. I love you, Michael. I'm going to hear about this if he listens to the VOD. So from that, after all of the princesses and other castles and hitting your head on blocks, how did you get into Blizzard and World of Warcraft?
Well, after I got out of that hospital from all those injuries, my job, surprisingly enough, a couple of employees told me that they thought that I would really enjoy playing World of Warcraft. And they actually went so far as to buy the game for me and give it to me as a gift.
Oh.
And then it just kind of sat on my computer desk for a really long time because my computer was basically a toaster. And I didn't know if this game would actually work on the computer, and it turned out it did, but it sat there for a few months before I finally loaded it up. And then it was just kind of weird because they kept asking me, when are you going to start playing? When are you going to start playing? And nobody told me that I had to pick a certain realm so I could play with them, or pick a certain race so I could play with them right out of the starting area. So they're all night elves on, I think it was Cenarian Circles where they wanted me to go. So I ended up starting a tune, but it was a gnome.
Yes!
So I kept demanding that they come over to the gnome starting area, not knowing how difficult it was for them to get from the Night Elf starting area to the Gnome starting area. But it was quite some time. But finally, one of them showed up, only to then escort me to Stormwind, where I promptly got lost. Which is silly, because Stormwind is probably the most easy major city in the game, since it's literally color-coded. But then they stopped playing, probably a month later. Just that wasn't their game anymore, and I just continued on and still play it today.
Nice. Well, you're still playing it, and hopefully you're still a gnome. I take it you're still a gnome.
We'll get to the next question.
Okay. So, what is your play style?
Okay, it is Altaholic.
Yes! Hi, my name is Frazley, and I'm an Altaholic.
Hi, Frazley. Did you bring the donuts this time?
Oh, Philly! Oh, I'm sorry. I knew I was supposed to get something. You know, that short memory.
Oh. Yes. Anyway, I get that stupid error all the time about that I have too many tunes, and if I want to get a new one, I have to delete one. And yes, on occasion, I have been known to purge a tune or two just so I could create a new one. So yeah, I currently have 50 characters, and I don't know, I play a little bit here, play a little bit there. I have a character with every race, every allied race, every class. I just play a little bit of everything, really.
Nice. Kind of just like dabble in different things. And do I take it right that you've done an Iron tune?
Or 2, or 3, or 4, and killed them.
Okay, so it's not just me who kills off irons.
Oh, this is going to be controversial. I have deleted Iron Man tunes. Haven't died.
Well, why would you put all that work into it and then
Because I wanted to create another tune. Well, they were low level Iron Man tune. They weren't too high up there, but I have a level 60. It's a gnome hunter that I haven't touched since I hit level 60, because I'm just afraid that something's going to happen to her and it would just be too tragic.
I can understand that, yeah, and just don't want to lose it, yeah.
Yep.
So, in amongst those many characters, what would you say is your favorite gaming memory?
Well, there was that one time that Turwinkle jumped off the Zeppelin.
On purpose?
He was just trying to make it so that we didn't have to wait for him to go back to Brill and then fly back to Orgrimmar again. He knew he was going to make that jump. He did not.
Oh.
Bless his heart.
Oh, Turwinkle. And now by bless your heart, do you mean the southern way of saying, oh, what a stupid idiot?
No, truly. I have a big grin on my face right now. Truly, bless his heart.
And are you sure you didn't push him off?
No, totally didn't.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I want to make sure, because right now I've got some detectives who are calling me right now about that. They want to kind of know what happened there.
Lies, all like fake news.
Oh, okay. So maybe I should change gears. I don't want to get into fake news. I want to get into some real stuff. So I take it, if what I understand of our different chats and stuff like that, you work at a movie theater.
Yes, I do.
And I wanted to know, how did you get started in the theater? Give me your hallmark moment.
Well, it's really kind of funny. I was working at a cable office, actually, and somebody came into the office to place an advertisement on our local ad channel for people to work at the local theater. It was a 3-screen theater in a small town. And I thought, well, that'd be a really good part-time job. We'll still put the ad on, but it won't go on until tomorrow. And then I'll sneak down there today and put in my application so maybe I can get hired over anybody else.
Nice.
So it just became a part-time job that I just worked maybe 3-4 days a week at night after my real job. And I really enjoyed it. And I learned pretty quickly on how to that was 35 millimeter film back then. So you had to build up a movie and tear down a movie. And there was a lot of human error possibilities with film back then. With you could accidentally scratch a film, cut a film, have to fix it really, really fast to get it back on the screen for customers. And then, of course, the customer service aspect of the job. Every day is different. You have different customers every single day, different experiences. It always keeps things exciting and entertaining. And it just kind of was something that was a good fit for me. And then the company was building a brand new 14-screen theater where I live now, and they were looking for a manager to run it. And I asked, well, what kind of college degree do you need in order to be a movie theater manager? And the person who I asked said, I have 2 degrees from college and I've never used anything I learned. So if you're interested, you should just put your name in regardless. So I did, and they set up an interview for me on a Sunday night. When I showed up, there was no interview. It was them trying to convince me that, yes, in fact, you should be the manager of this location, and would you please take it? And it's such a leap of faith for me, because I would never think in my life that I would not ditch everything, but move 2.5 hours north of any friends and family that I currently had just to start a job. But I did it, and it's been 15 years since then, and I just absolutely love it.
Nice. That is awesome. And I take it nowadays movies are pretty much downloaded to the projector digitally?
Yes, it is downloaded through a satellite dish.
Interesting. Okay, I could see it being probably more reliable. Is it downloaded like streamed, or is it downloaded and then kept there?
It is downloaded to a big server, and then we take the information off the server, the items that we need, because the trailers come that way too. Lots of different titles are put in there. Sometimes there's even titles that we aren't playing that are available for us to download for the future. And then we can just download what we need and then transfer those to the individual servers on the projectors themselves.
That is incredible. I remember the time of like the projectors breaking. I think what movie we were watching? We're watching one of Pleasantville. We were trying to watch Pleasantville, and that movie, like 40 minutes delayed to watch it. Now, I was also a 9-year-old watching Pleasantville. Probably shouldn't have been watching Pleasantville at 9, but I've seen a lot of movies I probably shouldn't have seen. But yeah, I remember like that being like, because like halfway through it breaks.
Yes.
Just like in the movie theater in Rugrats when they go to see the Dummy Bears.
Is it the original Gremlins or Gremlins 2 where they're in the movie theater and the film burns on the screen? And because that's literally how the film looks when the film burns on the screen. That's good
Gremlins 1.
That's good representation.
Wow. And that is pretty cool that you've been at that job and stuff like that. So what is it like working at a movie theater?
Well, always different. Like I said before, it just depends on if you have a really good support staff, everything can go smoothly. And then, of course, things break. You can have a popcorn machine go down. Even though we have all digital projectors now, you can have a bulb that doesn't light, or you could have a problem with a projector because it is still a computer. And we all know that computers can break down from time to time, and you have to know how to deal with a large crowd and try to make everybody happy. And it's really interesting. It can be just as entertaining as the film itself that people are coming to see half the time. So
what was it like having the Warcraft movie playing in the theater as you were also playing it?
I have not seen the Warcraft movie.
Okay, good. I have not finished it.
The Warcraft movie did not do well at my location, sadly.
Oh,
I know.
Okay, because if it's the other location where they bought you World of Warcraft, I'm thinking, yeah, you had your coworkers buy you World of Warcraft, and it didn't do well.
No. That was at this location.
Oh,
but that was years ago. That was when that was vanilla.
Okay, yes, this was before Fortnite and stuff like that, and before like dabbing and Orange Justice.
Yes.
Oh, and did you hear that? I think I've heard there is a Fortnite movie coming out. Oh, that'll be epic. I think I just made you face palm. So you said it could be interesting working at the theater. What is one of your craziest stories?
This is difficult because There are crazy stories that as a general manager, you don't want to say because you don't want to feed into certain stereotypes and what have you. So I'm not talking about anything like that. We can take the term crazy and flip it into a positive way.
Okay, yes.
What I find crazy is I have extreme regular customers. These people come to a movie 3-4 times a week to watch movies. Before I worked at a movie theater, I would never even think of coming to a movie more than like maybe 3 or 4 times a year. I think they determine that the average moviegoer does go to a movie 3 to 5 times a year. And 2 of those times happen between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Okay, I can see that, especially because I'm going to be going twice.
Yeah, see, there you go. I think the craziest thing for me is the connection that I have with so many of my customers. They're always looking for me. They always claim that I have the smile on my face and that I'm just so positive and happy all the time when I'm there and I make the experience better. But then they're the ones that I'm always looking forward to. So it's a two-way street when it comes to that sort of thing. But it's just these great customers. And then not only the great customers that are happy and they're having a great time, but even those customers that, like, it's always a challenge to me, the customer who's mad about something, but then I make it right for them. And then all of a sudden, every single time they come back, they always bring that like item up. There was a customer when he first came with his then fiance, he brought a bunch of Chinese food with him. Wasn't even trying to sneak it into the theater, just like had the bags and it just, Chinese food. It smells.
Yeah.
And it just has that, that scent. It would just eat up the whole theater and everyone would get hungry for Chinese food. And quite frankly, I was getting hungry for the Chinese food myself. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't let you, take that in.
Yeah, unless you bring enough to share for everybody.
Oh, well then, yeah, that would have been a different story. But no, I was like, well, we have a lobby and I'll be nice and let you eat it in the lobby if you want. And then you can go into your movie. Oh no, we're taking it in with us. No, you're not. And I really stood my ground, stood in front of the doors, wouldn't let them in. They ended up getting their money back and they left because they didn't want to waste their food, which I don't blame them.
Yeah.
But then the next time he came in, it was on a busier night. I think it was like a Saturday night. And he was in a line and I was up in the box office area. And when he got kind of closer within earshot, he goes, okay, everybody, put your Olive Garden away because this guy won't let you take it in. And it made me laugh. And I think that made him happy that I took it well, that I didn't like, okay, guy, you just need to leave. No. I was like, haha, yeah, I gotcha. And that kept up for a few months. Then we became very familiar with each other and he would just talk. And then his wife, we all became good friends and they got married and now they have children and the children have their birthday parties at my theater. And so it's just kind of interesting how, you could take a bad relationship and make it into a good relationship that can not only benefit everyone involved, but also financially too.
That is really cool. And I like how you turned it because when I made this question, I was thinking like that weird, not thinking about the fact that, you have to be careful what you can share, but you turned it into a cool story of working with people. I like that.
Yep. And then of course there are some crazy things too, but yeah.
Yeah. You can't say, yeah.
I mean, if we want to do kind of recently, I hope nobody's eating right now. I know some of us will be eating here soon, but I had a woman just, I think it was about a month ago. She came out of one of the theaters and she came out of Joker. Huh. And she just kind of came around the bathroom and she turned and looked at me and she goes, I'm sorry, but I just threw up all over the bathroom. It's like all over.
Oh,
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I said, oh, that's okay. We'll get that taken care of. Don't worry about it. It's no problem. Are you sure? Well, what was I going to have her do? Anyway, so I said, are you feeling any better? She said, yeah, I think so. And I said, well, if you need to leave, I can get you some passes and you can try again another time. No, I think it was just nerves. I think I'm fine. And then she went back into the movie. And then I had one of my ushers go in and check it out. And she came out of the bathroom. Her hand was covering her face. And she was like, oh my God, 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 oh my God. And I said, what? And she turned around and she said, it's everywhere. Everywhere.
I'm reminded, as you were talking about that, of a movie, Daddy Daycare. You know, when Eddie Murphy's looking around, he's like, whoa! Oh, I mean, his face is just like so tormented.
It took her a few minutes, but she got it all nice and clean. And then when the movie was over, the woman went back into the bathroom and she came out and I was exit greeting the theater and she looked at me and said, it's like it never happened. It's like it never happened. Well, what did you think? We were just going to leave it there?
It's a promotion for a new movie. You know,
she had I don't know if that was a husband, a boyfriend, could have been a first date. If so, very interesting first date. And he was very quiet. And they were just standing there while she was apologizing again and thanking us for taking care of it and everything. And then as they were leaving, he took a couple steps toward the door, stopped, turned, looked at me, said, thank you. And then he turned around and then they walked out.
Oh,
so yeah.
That is cool that you helped them not feel so embarrassed and you were there for them.
Yeah. She had good timing too. Thankfully, we just got done with a rush. So it wasn't like a bunch of people were going to be trampling through that unfortunate mess. So that was a good thing.
So just make sure you time getting sick when the theater rush is not happening. And then
Exactly.
So what advice would you give to those looking to go into the theater industry?
Okay. Razuris is going to get on a soapbox here. First off, if you're going to apply for a job, please make sure that you actually want a job and that you're not just getting a job because of pressure from your parents or pressure from your friends or whatever. Getting a job is a commitment. Don't waste my time going in for an interview, getting hired, and then calling in on a Friday night because your buddies are going to Omaha and they want you to go with them.
Yeah, I mean, who does overnight trips like that? And like, when I went to BlizzCon, I warned my work that I was leaving.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, common courtesy. But other than that, if you're going to work in the theater industry, we are open 365 days a year. We are open on Thanksgiving. We are open on Christmas. For our location, Christmas is the busiest day of the year.
Can believe it.
So if you're going to just know, I'm not going to force you to work all day on Christmas, but just know that you're probably going to have to work a shift on Christmas. So don't be shocked. That would be my biggest thing. I know on our website, it's listed 3 different times that you have to work holidays. And then the number one thing you see on an application is, oh, well, let's see. I can't work on Thanksgiving and I can't work on Christmas and I can't work on Halloween, which is fine because Halloween is usually not busy. But I can't work on the 4th of July and there's always a new movie on Independence Day. And then that's...
Well, I apologize. I cannot work on National Coffee Day.
That's fine.
Okay.
As a drinker of coffee, I can appreciate that and probably will take off myself. So that'll be fine.
And are you fine on the Super Bowl day?
Super Bowl day is perfectly fine. You want to take, that's the polar opposite of Christmas Day.
Groundhog Day, Chinese New Year, Lincoln's birthday, Linus Pauling Day, St. David's Day, Ash Wednesday, Town Meeting Day, St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, are you done? Oh,
Done. I was just listing off. I had 365 more days that I can't work at.
Let's see. I can't work on Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, but I could work every third Thursday. Will that work for you? No.
Come on. I mean, come on. I thought employees market right now.
But thanks for playing.
All this stuff kind of reminds me of movies out there.
Does it?
Yeah.
That's shocking.
You know, it is weird that there's not been a movie about working in a movie theater. The only one I can think of is, did you ever see the movie Phantom of the Megaplex on Disney Channel?
No.
Oh, with Disney Plus, you can watch it now. It's a really cool movie. Like,
are you going to give me your user ID and your password?
I'm sorry. No.
Oh, okay.
We aren't that close yet, so I'm sorry.
Disney Plus, not a sponsor.
Not yet.
Not even Wendy's. Not even
I know, not even Wendy's and not even Burger King. I just talked with somebody last night, Spaz, who went to Hungry Jack's and got a Rebel Burger. And I'm probably going to have an impossible... No, tomorrow I'm having a Qdoba Impossible Fajita. So I'm sorry, Burger King. I won't be going tomorrow. But maybe I'll be going to Qdoba tomorrow.
Still not a sponsor.
Yeah, still not a sponsor. But you know who is a sponsor? All the people out there who subscribe and give bits. Thank you for your support.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so very, very much. If it weren't for people like you, Frazley wouldn't be interviewing gnomes like me.
And we wouldn't have the Fooey emote.
Fooey!
You know, like that's some of my favorite things. But I'm going to guess you've got some favorite things. So what is your favorite movie?
Oh, see, now, okay. Asking me what is your favorite movie, that is like asking me who my favorite child is or something. It's just one of those impossible questions.
Mine's Gary.
I believe Gary is my favorite NPC in World of Warcraft. He's got the best quest at that Murloc one.
Oh, yes.
Anyway, I can officially say, I don't like ranking them, but I can officially say that I've spent more than one full day, 24 hours of my life watching the movie Titanic.
Oh, yes.
I've watched it now 9 times. It was only 8 times, and then they came out with a 3D version, so I had to see it in 3D. So that was my 9th time. I own it on VHS, both versions. I have the DVD. I have a Blu-ray, I believe. And I haven't opened any of them. The only time I've ever watched Titanic was in a movie theater. I've never seen it on a TV screen ever. And
I can see that because it is like seeing it in the theater would be so cool in that environment, seeing it with like the lot of stuff around it and like, oh yeah. And those giant breasts in 3D. Wait, I didn't say that.
Drop me like one of your French girls. I always thought what was weird, and I know it was just my head playing tricks on me, but it just seemed that when the iceberg hit and whenever they were in the water, in the cold water, it felt like the theater was also like really cold. Like I felt cold while watching it too. And I don't know if that was just the actors acting so well that I just felt really cold too, but I always did. Every time, all 9 times that I watched it, I always felt like that.
That shows some amazing attention to detail to make you feel like you're watching it. Yeah. Because even in watching it, I've never seen it in theater that I can remember, though I think my parents might have taken me, but it could have been too long that they were like, yeah, we know you're not going to last through a long movie. Because there was a time in a movie theater, I had this little courtesy cup of water. I kept getting up to get it refilled. I think I got it refilled like 100 times. I learned how rude that was to the theater and to the people in the theater. But I do feel cold when I was watching Titanic, even on VHS.
Oh, see, there you go. But as far as other movies, I am a big comedy fan. There was a movie called Big Business with Lily Tomlin and Bette Midler and Lily Tomlin and Bette Midler. Twins separated at birth. I thought that was hilarious. That's a movie that I can watch over and over and over again and never get tired of, which, by the way, is one of my interview questions. What is your favorite movie of all time when you can watch over and over again and never get tired of? But there's that movie, Hello Again with Shelley Long. The idea that you could bring somebody back from the dead with a chant, only when the certain stars and planets and the moon align just right, which only ever happened once in however many years, and it just happens to work out for her.
Yeah, I mean,
just weird, quirky movies. And then I like dramas. I like movies that make me cry. Happy tears and sad tears, like The Color Purple. I love The Color Purple. That movie makes you cry sad tears. It makes you cry happy tears. It makes you cry sad tears again. It makes you cry happy tears. It's just a very emotionally draining movie, and I just love that movie. Absolutely love it.
I'm trying to think of a movie like that because I know like The Changeling, that one left me speechless.
Never heard of it.
You've never heard of The Changeling?
No.
Oh, that is definitely a sad tears movie.
Who's in it?
Let's see. IMDb.
You don't even know. It's an amazing movie. We don't even know who's in it.
It's my short memory. Have you ever heard of IMDb? It's a really cool site.
No, never heard of it.
Angelina Jolie.
Oh, that one. Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and Gatlin Griffith.
Is it like her son or something that's missing, or who's missing?
Yeah, her son's missing, and
no one believes her
because the LAPD brings back a kid to her, and she's like, "No, this is not my son," and tries to figure out what happened to the son.
Aha.
Director Clint Eastwood.
Yep.
That one I still remember because of like how it left me at the end of the movie, just like, wow.
And speaking of Clint Eastwood, Gran Torino.
Oh, that's a good movie.
That is an excellent movie.
It doesn't even sing at the end, my Gran Torino.
I think one of the best things about that movie, because I played that in my current theater, and the audience for it, I was expecting more of a senior crowd, and it was almost a 4-quadrant picture. If it wasn't rated R, I bet we would have had even teens in there, but it was male, female, all these ages. It was selling out right and left, but it was so good. And when people came out of the theater, they usually did not get up and leave until the final credit had went off the screen. They stayed for the song, they stayed for everything, and then they got up and left, and it was just this really great movie that made people think, and it was so true and so real. And that's what I love about Clint Eastwood movies, especially the ones that he directs too. It's just, I love it.
And I love those movies where the credits roll and the whole audience is just sitting there speechless and thinking. That movie, it's a good movie when the whole audience is like that. And I remember that with Gran Torino. I'm thinking more movies I've had, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. And yes, Capo, get off my lawn. Exactly.
Get off my lawn sounds like a cliche, and it sounds like something that they would say in like a cheesy movie. And this episode's going to be releasing in December. So what is your favorite cheesy Christmas movie?
Oh, wow. What a transition. Okay, well, this is my fault. It's not. Okay, if we're going to go Hallmark movie, I'm going to have to go with The Christmas Card. I watched it fairly recently, and I really liked it. Although, I mean, the connection between our two leads is that he was in the army, and she wrote these, random Christmas letters to the troops, and he got her card. Then he had to go back to her town for a different reason, but then ends up meeting her. And he knows that she's the one that wrote the card. Her family knows that she wrote him the card, but he doesn't tell her. And it's weird. And then, of course, she's got a fiance that somehow we got to get rid of so that these two can get together. And the fiance, the fiance or the boyfriend, it's always the same in these movies. It's always the same. They're a jerk, but she's too blind to see it. They don't want to do any hard work. They show up at the last minute and apologize that they're late. It's always some weird, not nice person that she shouldn't be with in the first place. And then they always propose and she always accepts. And you're like, why? I can't watch these movies, Frazley, because I'm always talking to the screen. This is why it's probably a good idea that I get the option to watch movies by myself in the theater from time to time. Because I'll be one of those. Like, why are you going up? Especially, I'm not a big fan of horror movies. But if somebody's attacking you and there's the door to the outside right there and you choose to run upstairs instead of running out of your house, why?
Yeah, why? We watched Halloween recently for the Morally Grey podcast's Patreon, and we're all thinking, there are so many parts of this movie, why did you do that? Why? Oh, now, hopefully you don't throw soda at the movie theater screen.
No, thank goodness, because, cleaning those screens, that is not easy.
And yeah, Harlow says, stop running through the woods in high heels, you idiot!
But let me tell you what, that Bryce Dallas Howard, she can run in some high heels, Jurassic World. That she was wearing those heels, and that didn't stop her for nothing.
No, careful. Do you mean the first Jurassic World? Because you better not mean Fallen Kingdom. That movie is.
No, because in Fallen Kingdom, she's not wearing the high heels anymore. I think she's got boots on in that one.
Well, and that movie even lost a plot halfway through the movie. I hate Fallen Kingdom. I watched the end of it. I'm sorry. That's one of my least favorite movies.
I enjoyed Fallen Kingdom. It made us some money.
Oh, okay. That's a good reason. So when it's playing again in the theater, definitely go out to Raz's theater and watch Fallen Kingdom. So Frazley approves it. It's great.
Please and thank you.
And Raz's theater is not a sponsor of this show yet. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, not yet.
So what would you say is your least favorite movie?
Oh, I should know this, but I think it's always a movie that after I watch it, I go, well, that's 90 minutes of my life I'm never going to get back.
Fallen Kingdom?
But then No, I wouldn't say that's my least favorite movie.
I'm saying it's mine.
I just, I don't know. Sometimes I don't necessarily care if a movie has a lot of things up in the air at the end of it. Sometimes I enjoy that.
Yeah.
Sometimes one of the things that I hate is when everything gets wrapped up so nicely with a nice little bow. I like a little uncertainty. Recently, a couple friends of mine and I were talking about the movie Waitress from, I think it was 2007 when that one came out. And the choices that the main character make are very, I believe, by the end of the movie, really smart. And they're not what you would expect for that particular character. And I really like that. I'm not going to spoil it by saying anything, but I really enjoyed the ending of that movie.
Yeah, I remember that one now because it had the pies.
Yes, it had the pies. And those pies were so creative. All the names were great.
I see what you mean about the wrapped up. It's why I loved the first Matrix, and the second and third one, to me, killed the series because it lost any sense of what ifs. Because there was like so many fan fictions made about like, where do things go? People made fan films. And then once it was all wrapped up, it was just like, okay,
And bless the fan fictions and stuff, because if it weren't for them, we wouldn't have a lot of these stories.
Yeah. I mean, we would not have 50 Shades of Grey if it wasn't for being a Twilight fan
Exactly.
fiction.
That made us some money too.
Yeah. And there's also this Harry Potter fan fiction where Draco and Malfoy... And yeah. So
quite possibly could make us some money too.
Exactly, really good. So you wouldn't say Waitress is your least favorite movie?
Oh God, no, definitely not. I don't really, as far as the least favorite movie, oh gosh, lately I haven't come across a movie where at the end of it, oh well, okay, wait a minute, hold on. I got to go to this new website I just heard about called internetmoviedatabase.com.
Oh, I've never heard of that one. Is it good?
Oh, somebody told me about it just recently. I thought it was you. Was it not you? It's a short-term memory of yours.
And now who owns it? I wonder if they own Twitch.
Melissa McCarthy was in it.
Amazon owns Twitch, and use your Twitch Prime subscription on this channel.
I got it. Here we go. The Happy Time Murders.
That sounds familiar. Can you give me a synopsis of that?
I'll read off the synopsis from IMDb. It says, when the puppet cast of a 90s children TV show began to get murdered one by one, a disgraced LAPD detective turned private eye puppet takes on the case. Basically, we'll put it this way. You watch the trailer, anything that is even remotely funny is in the trailer. You don't need to watch the movie. And the movie is only 90 minutes. It's a very short movie. And I believe 12 or 13 minutes of that runtime is end credits.
Wow.
So it's very short movie. That is 90 minutes. I'm never going to get back.
So somebody pulled strings to get that movie greenlit.
Yeah, literally.
If people want to watch a movie that's good about puppets, Death to Smoochie. Phenomenal Robin Williams movie. Just not for kids. And Razuris,
yeah, not for kids. Not for
Razuris
kids.
puts a bunch of Frazzle face bombs in chat.
What's that one movie? Oh, is it 1 Hour Photo? With
that one? Oh,
it's
yes.
so good. He's amazing in that movie.
I mean, just like I knew it wasn't a comedy, but I wanted to see because he was in it, and I'm glad I saw it because, wow. Robin Williams, amazing. I just watched Mrs. Doubtfire. And funny story, someone actually stole my Mrs. Doubtfire DVD.
Somebody stole it?
Yeah, somebody stole my Mrs. Doubtfire DVD.
All right. Well, maybe they needed it more than you did.
Exactly. A movie about deception and someone steals it from me.
I just had that with a customer who lost her blue scarf in my theater, and we were trying to find it. We couldn't find it. And then finally her way of giving up was, well, I hope whoever took it needed it more than I did. I can just get me a new one. And I said, okay, that's a great way of thinking about it.
And then you turn around with the blue scarf around your neck, right?
Oh, boy, wouldn't that have been something? That would have been a plot twist.
It's my blue scarf now.
I love it. That's a plot. I'm going to write that. That's going to be in my new screenplay.
Yes. The Grand Camino Blue Scarf. Directed by Clint Eastwood.
Oh, yes. Insta hit.
With Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, God. Yeah. She could be the woman. Yeah. She's the one that's missing the blue scarf.
Oh, James Corden could be the manager.
Sure.
You don't like James Corden?
No, he's okay.
Who would you make the manager?
Myself.
Okay.
I would want to star in the movie. I want to get some of the profits out of this thing.
There we go.
I want to be that multi-hyphenate. I want to be like the Tyler Perry. I've got to act in it or star in it, write it, produce it, direct it. I'll compose the soundtrack.
And you also got to be another person. No, another 3 people in the movie as well.
Done.
Okay.
Done. Yeah, sure.
So watch out for the Grand Camino Blue Scarf coming out in theaters next year, and definitely go support your local theaters when it comes out.
Razuris presents.
Yes, Razuris presents. Well, Razuris, I want to thank you for joining me on FrazlCast. It just flew by with the time, but I laughed so much, I think, as you can see and hear. So where can we find you on the interwebs?
What is this interwebs?
You know, like the it's all spider webs because spiders always end up killing me. That we're just like stuck to the spider webs, and we're all connected together as one as the spiders slowly eat us.
The interwebs. That's like one of the senior citizens are. We had to go to the Walmarts to get some eggs. There's a supermarket in the same place where you can buy a chair. You can buy bread and eggs and milk. You can buy it all in one stop. Can you believe it?
Whoa, golly bee!
Where can they find me? Oh my gosh. On the Twitters, you can find me at Razuris. And how do you spell that? It's Razuris. Razuris. Use that in a sentence.
Razuris, rise up.
Yes.
That's what I always think of whenever I think of your name now. How did I used to call it?
Razuris?
Yeah, you're right. Razuris. I'm not always good at pronouncing people's names. Not on purpose. Like I try to pronounce them correctly, but I don't end up pronouncing them correctly.
It was getting to the point where every time I'd go on a Twitch stream, I would just, if I type something and someone would start to try to say the name, I'd just be, Raz is fine. Just Raz. Raz is perfectly fine.
Yeah, Raz. And just show the Razamataz. Oh, that's a better name than the other one, the blue scarf. It's Razamataz.
Yeah, there we go. Sure. Yep.
But the blue scarf and Razuris presents.
Yep. Sounds like a plan. I'll take that information to my people. We'll workshop it and see what we can come up with.
Activating customized Orphan transporter.
I am currently on my vacation, taking a break for a bit, so you won't see streams or my Be Awesome walks until I get back. The Fraz Report is also on hiatus until I return, but I have episodes of FrazlCast and Be Great Today planned to still go out. So next week I have Elliot from Tessa and Elliot Argue, and then the following week I've got Warcraft Stats. And the From the Community section is also on hold for the show until I return as well. And this is usually where I give shoutouts and thank yous to those who have given back to the show financially through subs, bits, merch sales, and more. So I want to thank you for your support of the show, and I will thank all of you on episode 138 with Warcraft Stats. So all of your support goes to helping support this labor of love. Thank you so much. Well, I'm Frazley, and you can find the show at gnomepodcast.com. So until next week, be awesome.
FrazlCast is a fan podcast that covers Blizzard games. We are not affiliated with Blizzard Entertainment, Inc. Views expressed by the hosts and guests are their own. Some of the art, music, and sound effects come from Blizzard Games and are owned by Blizzard Entertainment, Inc. No copyright infringement is intended. The Gnome Train intro is by Allie of Dungeon Fables and All Things Azeroth, and the opening music is by Brandon T. Blaylock.
This show is brought to you by Dragon Powered Studio. Find more at dragonpoweredstudio.com.
Hey, wait a minute. Where's the thing about Gnome Train? There's no Gnome Train on
Oh,
here.
that's right. Okay.
We got to add the Gnome Train, and then I'll go, where's the train taking us, Frazley? And then I'll go, into the unknown, into the unknown, into the unknown.